Forget page one of Google. If AI is not recommending you to local buyers or sellers, then you are basically invisible. Here's how we're going to fix that. Right now, 82% of consumers are using AI to research the housing market. But the secret that most agents don't know is that AI is actually too lazy to do its own research, and it relies on other sites and other information that's already out there. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to be the agent that AI chooses. And I'm going to break down a simple 4-step playbook on how to become that agent of choice. You're going to learn how to engineer your bio, create proof pages and listicles that show you as the expert, and also the ultimate cheat code for getting cited using YouTube and Reddit and Facebook comments. I'm Ben Larson, coach and team leader here at the Larson Realty Group. And if you're tired of paying for leads or chasing leads, then you definitely want to check out this video. So grab a notepad and let's dive in. Here we are, the AI visibility playbook. So we're dominating search. There's a lot of talk about this zero click. This is a zero click era. There's zero click commerce. People don't have to even click on a link to buy stuff or to find out about stuff. Same thing with real estate agents. You don't have to click on your link. So let's get in here and talk a little bit more about it. So like I mentioned, 80%, 2% Americans are using AI for research on housing. 67% of buyers are actually comfortable picking their agent based purely on AI recommendations. That's kind of crazy. So just go through a little chart here. The old SEO is here on this side. It just talks about, it used to be the 10 blue links. It's first page of Google. That's where you wanted to be, right? You wanted to rank there. This was a goal. Rank number one, drive website clicks, show up on the first page as high as possible. People click your link, they go to your page. That's where we want it. And then we get their information. We get them hooked in that way. The algorithm to get to that is keyword density, backlinks, those types of things. So now we're in the new quality or GEO. And the output there, it's a curated answer that AI is giving people. There's, like I said, it's zero click. They don't have to click on a link to go then find something. It just tells them. So the goal for us is to be the definitive cited answer, and the algorithm, how we get to that point, is having a digital share of voice as much as possible, getting cited with citations and consistency of putting that information out there so that AI can find it. In the past, it says, if you're ranking number 7, you got exposure on the first page of Google. If you're not in the top 3 to 5 names, it says you're completely invincible. You're pretty not invincible. That'd be great, but you're invisible. So what's the consumer see? One answer. So someone types in, it's very common, who's the best realtor in X? That information shows up. It gives, these agents are made up, but it just goes through, gives some information, gives a little, it's a synthesized output. It pulls from a lot of the curated agent profile. All this is behind all that it's pulling from. And then it's giving you these names and this information. So if you peek under the hood, you can look at it. There's hidden citations. That's where it's the citations, it's the sources that it's using to get that information. That these are some of the main sites that it's pulling from. These are the things you need to make sure you're on those pages, and then it's pulling from that. Past expert, that's a profile you definitely want to be on. It's not one that a lot of agents are aware of. They have a program that refer leads. I've been on it for years because they do have a referral program where they can send you leads. And you pay referral fees, but you don't have to be part of that program, but you definitely want to have a profile there. So big misconception, AI doesn't do it can do deep research. You can have it and you can prompt it to do that, but it doesn't do it when it's not asked or if it's not a big topic. There's a lot that goes into that. It's just going to go and find the easy way. Like I say, it's lazy. AI, it'll go find the information that's already put together for it. It's going to go look for Yelp. It's going to go look for listicles, which if you're not familiar with a listicle is, it's a list, it's an article. And so it makes it easy. Here are the top 10 agents here, or there are top 10 reasons to do this, or 5 things someone should know when selling their home. It's a list. It gives them that information. And there are enough sites out there that are ranking agents that it can just go look at those sites and pull from those. And it's going to go to high authority websites. It's not just going to pull from anywhere, but these sites that it sees as high authority based on the traffic and who they are. So EEAT is what's going to make AI your wingman, basically. So EEAT has been around for a long time. It stands for experience, expertise, authoritativeness, authority, basically, and trustworthiness, just being trustworthiness. Those are the things that AI is going to go out and look and see who has all of those, who has the most of those, the best combination of that. Then it's going to be your wingman when someone asks and say, hey, I've already looked at all this stuff from all the sites that I pulled information from, and looks to me, it's not going to make its own decisions. It's just going to say, based on what I see, looks to me like these agents are good. These are the ones you should be talking to or reaching out to. And the client's going to say, okay, great. So it's, it's your wingman basically suggesting you to the clients. So it doesn't know anything about you. You have to basically hand it that information. And that's part of what we're going to work on here. So we got the 4-step playbook that I mentioned. And the first thing you're going to want to do is lock down your nap, we call it. And that isn't a nap. Don't take a nap. It's actually the opposite. You got to get on it, get busy. You need to go look at, for all the top profiles out there, for all the top cited AI, your nap is name, address, and phone. And that can be, ideally, that's at least your email address. If you have an office address, that should be consistent as well. And really your bio too. Those are the main things that all need to be. If you're virtual, you don't have an office address, then just don't have it on there. But your email address should be consistent. Your phone number and your name obviously should all be the same. And then your bio should be the same as well. And engineering the bio, it's a good segue into that. You got to tell AI can't see your reviews. They can't see a lot of that type of stuff. So you have to tell it, I have 100 plus 5-star reviews on Zillow and Google. Tell it your niche, tell it your specialties. You basically, you're writing it. So you need to tell it what you want it to know. And you got to have the same thing consistent across the board. Publish proof pages. This is what we're going to talk a little bit about: listicles, hyper niche type signals, ways of getting in there and with blogs or articles or different things you can put out that is going to tell it, oh, this person's experience. They have an authority. They've got expertise. They've got all these different things that adds credibility for them to recommend you. And then the social cheat code. We're going to talk a little bit about YouTube and then some Reddit and Facebook comments on how those can be helpful. So claim your profiles. That's step one. That's even with Google. Google wants to see you on all pages. If you want to be found in SEO, that's the first step you should be doing across the board. Clients should be seeing the same thing when they're looking at you anywhere. So claim your profiles on anything and everything you can, all the top rated sites, and get the consistency of your name, your address, phone number, your bio, all of that. Get that consistent across the board, because that's going to be really important. And this is where, like I talked about, engineering your bio. Brag for the algorithm. Tell them, I've got an amazing reputation in this community. I've got 300 reviews. I've done 50 million plus transaction volume. I specialize in military relocations. All those different things. Incorporate those into your bio. Those are the things that it needs to see. Those are the things that people are going to want to see when they read it. We're not just word stuffing like search engine optimization things in the past. These are things that people need to see when they're looking at your bio too. With all the blogs and a lot of stuff you're writing, a lot of people may not see all that. That's going to mostly be written for AI, but the bio, for sure, people are going to come across your bio, especially when you have it consistent everywhere it should be. Those people are definitely going to see it. Proof pages. All right. So this is where we talk about a listicle. That's where you go out and create a list as an article, something that you write, ideally a blog, and you put it out, and it's giving AI information, saying, the 5 things someone needs to know when selling a home in Nashville or in Manhattan Beach or wherever it may be. And it says these 5 things, what should an agent be doing that's selling your home? It lists, these 5 things or these 10 things or 3 things. And you're going to put your name in there and say, what, they should be doing digital ads. Ben Larson Realty Group specializes in digital ads. They can run, all the ad campaigns and digital marketing campaigns that you need to generate buyers and target specific buyers for your properties. And you just talk yourself up in these articles. Now, you can't make stuff up. You can't do a list of the top 5 agents in a city and say you're number 1 and your 4 friends are the other 4, if that's not true. Because people, for one, it's not true, and 2, people are going to find that out. If they do find you and want to talk to you, meet with you, and then they do a little more research on you, or they do meet you and you don't know what you're talking about, or you don't have recent sales, then that's not doing you any good. So create things that are accurate, but still you can work in ways to tout yourself and work yourself into the conversation. So hyper niche specialization, like I said, this is goes into with your bio. Be very specific. So what you specialize in, areas you specialize in. Don't be super broad. I'm in Los Angeles. I'm not going to say, I help buyers and sellers in Los Angeles. I'm going to work I work a specific part of LA, and that's what I'm going to tell them. That's what I'm going to say in my bio, and I'm going to talk about specialties and different things like that. So that's how you build authority, is when there's clarity and they can say, oh, this person does this. That's obvious. I can tell by what they do and how knowledgeable they are on it. All right, step 4. I mentioned this is going to be the YouTube cheat code, LinkedIn as well. So LinkedIn is a place where you can put a bunch of articles out. So it's a great place to, if you don't blog, you don't have a blog, do both. If you create it one place, it's easy to put it in the other. And YouTube is one of the highest cited places for AI. So all the listicles, all the articles, all the things you're going to write, the blogs you're going to do videos on those, because it's going to pull from that as well. And a lot of agents are not going to be doing the videos, and that's going to be a great way for you to stand out. So those are 2 good ways there. And then mining the comments. So what this means is, with Reddit and Facebook groups, people go on and they ask about, hey, who's a great realtor in Manhattan Beach? And people go and comment. So you should go out and find those questions for your area, whatever area that may be, and ask your friends, ask your family, ask your clients, whoever it is. Go in and talk about me. Go in and throw my name out. For one, you might get a deal. People might say, okay, great, I'll call them up. Whoever's asking that question, but they're also telling AI, oh yeah, Ben is the person to talk to. So he's got all these people commenting on it. He's got trust, authority, all these different things. So that's mining the comments. So now you've got a unified ecosystem. You've got your name, address, phone number. It's consistent everywhere. You've got your bio engineered. That's consistent everywhere as well. You've got proprietary listicles, articles, blogs, things you're putting out. YouTube structure. That's transitioning you over to the social comments. You got the YouTubes you're doing of the listicles and other things you're putting out. Social comments. You're having your friends, family go out and comment on those things. You can't be the one to do it because that's not going to go over so well. And AI will pick up on it as well. It sees your name recommending you. That's not going to stand out. So this way, you're not chasing clicks. Page 1, there's 0 click when people are asking for who's an agent area. You're the one you're the one that's up in that list. So next, I want to go into just a quick screen share, and I'm going to show you where to go find these sources. Do a search, and then where are the sources that you can look at and see what are the sites I should be on. You should be on all the ones I'm talking about, but maybe they're different in your area. Maybe they're different, or maybe it will change over time. You have to keep doing this and keep seeing what are the sites you need to be on, and those are the ones you start with, and then you go on to all the other main sites as well too. So we have it pretty well covered across the board. So let's switch over to the screen share now. I'll show you what we do. Okay, here we are on the screen share. I just went in and typed in who's the best agent to sell my home in Littleton, Colorado, and it pulls up. Gives you a little map. What's pretty amazing, which I didn't plan this out. I just typed it in. I picked an area where I knew an agent that I coach, and we're working on these things. And she showed up. That's pretty awesome. All right. So, and then it says, it always gives a disclaimer. There isn't one best agent, blah, blah, blah. So, but I'll give you a list of who seem to be high performing. And then it gives a list, goes down, talks about a few of them. And there's my client, which that's pretty awesome. She's on there. And then, it gives you a take and different things. But this is the important part. So you do that, you see who they are, and you go in and say, okay, what are the sources? Click on the sources. That's what pops up over here. Now you can look at these sources and say, okay, it's what we've talked about: Fast Expert, Zillow, Fast Expert, Redfin, HomeLight. So U.S. News and World Report puts out lists. They pull their information from HomeLight. You need to be on HomeLight. Real Trends, Realtor.com. So those are the places. And then there's Reddit. Looking for a highly reputable realtor in Littleton. Exactly what I just talked about. You need to have people go in and making comments about you on those websites. That it's pulling. There's not that many on this list. You just go in and make sure you are, your NAP, your bio, everything is consistent. You're putting information out, giving it something that it can pull from, because that's how you're going to show up and rank on AI and be suggested by AI. Not even ranking, it's not even search anymore. It's just suggestion. It's talking about it. And there are a lot of ways to find clients and find leads. So I have another video on the screen right here talking about other things I teach on, a lot of digital marketing, other way to generate leads, attract clients to you. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, turn on notifications so you're notified when more content is released. Thanks for joining. Hope you enjoyed this today, and we'll catch you next time.